Thank you for everyone who is here with us now, and thank you to everyone who is watching this replay. Welcome, welcome, welcome on this blessed, holy day. Wow, what a special, special day. It's Good Friday today. So I want to wish everyone a blessed, blessed Good Friday. I want to take a moment just to express my profound gratitude to the Christ, my profound gratitude to Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us here now and always and guiding our path. So today I really felt called to just discuss a little bit about what's going on in the collective. The last couple of days, I've seen a tremendous increase in people posting about everything that's happening from like a really fearful vibration almost, which is okay. Fear is there to help us, and it's there to help us understand what is important to us, and it has so much value in and of itself. But I also want to bring in the discussion about ego addiction and attachments to the lower mind, attachments to the matrix, and continuing with these harmful stories that are being bombarded from the collective. So this is really what I want to discuss today and what I feel called to talk about openly. So what is an ego addiction? What is an addiction to the mind? Our ego is basically the sum of our personality, the sum of our identity, who we think we are, the stories that we tell ourselves, and really it's just a collection of stories. So what is an addiction is when we're perpetuating and continuing to give energy, attention, awareness to these mental stories. Everything is a vibration, and everything really is a frequency, and we get to choose what we focus on, and we get to be the ones who are in control of where our attention goes. So I understand, and of course there's much concern with what's going on with the collective, with the 5G and the vaccination. But I just want to take a moment and really invite reflection of, is it serving us to perpetuate these stories? Of course, there's value in understanding what's going on, and we can take the time to understand. We can take the time to know what's happening within the collective, the agendas that are being perpetuated. But we also have a choice to come back to our truth, to come back to who we really are, and to come out of these mental stories, to come out of our minds. Because the more that we engage in these stories, the more that we talk about these things, the more that we're contributing to the power of their manifestation. Doesn't matter if we're negatively talking about them. Doesn't matter if we're saying like, oh, this coronavirus is all a hoax, and whatever it may be, whatever the personal belief is, it doesn't matter. Just by maintaining our awareness, our focus on these specific topics, we're actually contributing to their power. So it's time that we take our power back and that we redirect our focus, our attention to what really matters. We redirect our focus to what's going to be of actual benefit. Because thinking about these things, talking about these things, posting about these things like addictively, right? It's like this is the actual virus. This is what the agenda is to allow people to become obsessed and to use your own mental powers, to use your own mind to contribute to those external agendas that are not of a benevolent nature, that are not there for the benefit of humanity. So, how are you using your power? What are you putting out there and in here? This is what matters the most right now, guys. And this is why it's so important for us to recognize when we are stuck in our lower minds, when we are attached to the matrix, when we are perpetuating these ongoing stories. This is how these malevolent forces that are trying to replace God, that are trying to play God, are actually gaining their power. So we need to discern where our energy is going to, what we're thinking about, and if our consciousness is perpetually being drawn towards all of these external things to know what is going on, this is just another form of an ego addiction, because the ego actually thrives on knowing what is happening. The mind needs to know, because the mind never knows. The mind will never know. The mind cannot know, because the truth is only in here. The truth is within our hearts. The heart has all the answers. This is the only place that we will find answers. The mind will continue searching obsessively, will continue seeking and looking, but it will never find the answer. And this is when we become very vulnerable, is when we are uncomfortable in the unknowing. And of course, this is uncomfortable, but that's okay. This is why we take the time to meditate every single day, so that we can train our minds how to sit in that discomfort. So we can train our minds how to let go. So just know this need to know, this need to find an answer is coming from the lower mind. It's coming from the ego. The ego needs to know. The ego cannot sit in the unknowing, because it doesn't trust. It doesn't understand. It's not connected to the heart. So I just urge everyone to really recognize when the mind is at play, and to know that there is something that we can actively do about it. There are many ways that we can train our minds, and there are many ways that we can redirect our focus and come into the only space of knowing, which is our heart center, the only space of truth. And one more thing that I want to mention about this ego addiction and this attachment to the lower mind that needs to know, and how this makes us so vulnerable. It makes us vulnerable because then we start to seek outside of ourselves. We start to question outside ourselves. And this is when we are the perfect target for malevolent forces to actually present themselves, whether that be in a benevolent way, and feed the mind, and actually feed off of the mind's desire to know, and feed off of the discomfort that you're feeling in the unknown. So I bring this up because there's so many people who are channeling, right? There's so many people who are connecting with astral beings outside of themselves and seeking to find answers from these spaces. And I just really want to remind everyone to be really, really discerning in these spaces. You know, something that I really took from all of my yoga teacher trainings and from my entire study on yoga was from Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, it actually says, if any being comes to you at any time, doesn't matter who they are, it's really recommended to not engage in a conversation with them, because if you start engaging in a conversation with any of these spirits that are from the astral realms, then you're opening up that gate and that channel for these spirits to continue communicating with you and to be a constant source of connection with you. And I have to say that a lot of these astral beings, doesn't matter how benevolently they present themselves, they may not always be benevolent beings. So be really discerning about who you're connecting to, where you're getting your information, which people you're following, what spirits people are channeling. And one thing that makes me very alert is when people start predicting the future, right? So when people start talking about, well, like this is going to happen, and from this date to this date, the internet is going to black out, and this is like very specific information that is based on the future, is a very big red flag and an alarm for my entire system. It's like, well, you know, nobody knows the future because there's an infinite amount of possibilities. And that's why it's really important for us to be here now and to be in our highest vibration, connected with the truth, connected with source, connected with our divinity, not with astral beings, not with any federations of galactic spaces, but with our truth that resides within our heart. So I just urge everyone, because this is a profound time where there is a spiritual warfare, and there are people who are, manipulating the light workers, manipulating people's desire to know, playing on these lower mind aspects. So I hope that everyone can just consider that as a reminder, and to just tune back in, to let everything go. And really, all of this is such a profound test of faith. For those of us who identify as spiritual, or those of us who believe in God, this is the time to live that. This is the time to embody that to your fullest extent. This is the time to give it all to God. So all of these worries, in my world, in my perspective, there is no way that anything can possibly happen to me because I'm connected to my own vibration. I'm connected to my source, and nothing can penetrate that. So just consider any lingering attachments to the matrix and the stories of the collective, to needing to know what's going on. And it's okay that the desire is there because this is most natural. But are you staying there when you have the option to tune into what's really important, when you have the option to make the space for something greater? You have the option to not contribute to all of these external things that are happening and their power. Don't give your power away. Bring your power back to yourself. Bring your power back into your own being. Thank you. And may we now take the time to come into our stillness, to detach from the ego, the lower mind, all of the stories. This is a practice, guys, and we all have the capacity. We all have the choice. We need everyone on board. We need everyone coming out of the mind, coming out of these stories, coming back into their hearts, awakening the Christ within them. The time is now. So thank you for being here and for taking the time to create that space, to detach. I invite you to come into a comfortable position and take a few moments, to come into that comfort, to release the body, to loosen the body, and to come into your dignified posture so that you can create a signal for your mind body that you're about to come into the witness part of your being. I invite you to close your eyes, to ground your awareness. So take a moment to feel the earth beneath you. Take a moment to connect with the earth. Dropping your awareness below the surface of our earth, 10 feet, 20 feet below, continuing all the way down to the core, and just allowing for that connection. You may express your gratitude for our planet at this time, sending your heartfelt love, your thankfulness. When you're ready, bring that awareness back into the body and simply take this moment to check in. To check in with all of the different parts. To maybe take a few deep breaths into the belly, to simply settle the mind, settle the body. Deep breath in. Releasing and sighing out the mouth, letting it go. Deep breath in. Sighing out the mouth. And one more deep breath in. And letting it all go. Returning to your natural breath. Tuning in to the quality of the breath, the quality of the mental headspace. So simply notice how you're feeling in your mind today. Does it feel busy, tired, sleepy, focused, sharp? Just notice. Notice any thoughts that are coming in. And set the intention to let go of the thoughts, to let go of any stories, and just notice any desire to stay with the stories, to continue with the stories, to continue with the thoughts. Can you let that go and simply redirect your focus back to the breath, back to the sensations in the body? A continual redirection of focus. Taking the responsibility to notice when you begin to drift, and in a friendly way to bring yourself back, to come back again and again into the now. What is pulling on your attention, what is demanding your consciousness. Can you be an unwavering witness? Simply observing without having any need to react, to change what is, to judge or condemn. And as you stay with your moment to moment experience, observing your breath, observing your thoughts, physical bodily sensations, any and all emotions, I'd like you to simply notice your automatic reactions. So notice the automatic reaction to that which is arising. There are only 3 automatic reactions. We react to something that either feels pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Simply notice whether something is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral in nature. And continue allowing yourself to be that witness from a space of stillness, acceptance, compassion. The more we witness the activity of our inner being, the more space we create. The more we witness our thoughts, the more space we create between them. The more we redirect our focus from that which is pulling at our attention back to the present moment through the connection with our breath, the easier this becomes, so that we can simply dwell in the now and observe each time the mind wants to come forth. Observe each time that the mind wants to hijack our experience and take control. As you stay with the breath, also keep a portion of your awareness in the lower belly, staying connected deeply to the body, remaining grounded, remaining present, softening with each breath in, letting go of those automatic responses with each breath out. Relaxing into your being with each breath in, and letting go, surrendering on your breath out. And as you soften your lower belly, allow your crescent heart to begin to soften as well. Bring your attention to your spiritual heart space, your higher heart located between the center of your, located above the center of your chest, below your throat. Stay in this space. Witness this space. Breathe into this space. No need to judge your experience, analyze, understand. Letting all of that go. Nourishing and nurturing your connection to this present moment, to the breath, to your sacred heart, to your lower belly. And always leaving space within your consciousness to notice that which is coming and going. And after we've been practicing our meditation for some time, that which is coming and going is always in the background. Like clouds that come into existence and dissipate. There's no need for judgment, for resistance, for repression. We simply allow for the arising and we let it go as we anchor fully and completely into this now, into our being, using our breath as the doorway. strengthening the connection to our breath in each moment. Building the foundation for us to remain connected throughout the day. We continue to let go of our thoughts over and over again so that we may create the space. We may create a solid, grounded foundation in the here and now for the awakening of our higher minds. Remaining connected. Tuning in again and again with so much love and curiosity, compassion. If you'd like at this time to receive an energetic transmission, you may say yes. Clearing all the collective stories from your headspace. Clearing the programs, the implants. Clearing the space for the activation of the higher mind. You may wish to bring your focus to your hairline. Receiving the light within the headspace, within the mind. Noticing any resistance and allowing it to go. And allowing that energy to drop into your sacred heart. Feeling the connection between your higher mind and your higher heart space. Opening that portal and continuing down into the lower belly. Connecting to that innermost line of your being. Anchoring it into the core of the earth. Feeling your profound connection to the earth. Beautiful. And you may stay exactly as you are, where you are, or bringing your palms to heart center. Remaining anchored in the heart space. And taking a moment to send love to all parts of your being, to send the divine love from within your heart to each and every cell in your body. Sending your love to anyone that comes to mind at this time. And maybe even sending your love to anyone that you need to forgive. Allowing yourself to be free. Expressing your gratitude for all that is. And expressing your gratitude for anything else that resonates with you in this moment. When you're ready, begin to rub your palms against one another. Placing the palms over the eyes. Taking your time to open the eyes. And to come back to the space. Thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you to everyone who is watching this replay and receiving. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for being. Thank you for being here.